So now I'm gonna take you into the studio and I'm gonna share with everybody how to create a beautiful floral arrangement with grocery store bought flowers step by step. And I really think you guys are going to learn some tricks and tips and hacks on how to do this. So let's watch. Hello. Welcome back to Ramon at Home. You guys, it's Sunday again. I cannot believe time is going by so quick. It's already the middle of June, and today I have a brand new video. I want to take a second first to thank you for opening the doors of your home and inviting me in today so that I can share with you tips, tricks, and ideas on how to design with fresh flowers from the grocery store. I'm gonna show you all the tips and tricks that you need to know for those flowers to last you a long time, because you need to know how to cut them, how to process them, and how to feed them with food so they can last you a long time. Right now, we're so lucky that we can go to the grocery store and we can just buy fresh flowers. And let me let you know, they are so beautiful and so affordable. You will love the ideas. And now I want to take a second to thank Elena Kalpakov for becoming our newest channel member. Claps for Elena. Thank you, Elena, so much. Your contribution really does help the channel produce better videos. And if you want to help this channel by joining, there's going to be a link down below, or you can just go to my main page and hit the join button. There's some perks for those of you who become channel members. All right, well, you guys, I want to talk to you about fresh flowers and grocery store bought flowers, but first I'm going to share how to take care of them. And for that, I'm going to go with Ramon from the past so he can show you all of this. Okay, so we just got back from the grocery store where I bought a whole bunch of flowers and greeneries, and I want to explain to you real quick before we get to the floral arrangement that you need to prep your flowers when you are buying flowers at the grocery store or any wholesalers. So the first thing I want you to know is that you have to have room temperature water, and you want to have just enough where the stems can sit and soak up some water, because these flowers, they've probably been there. Actually, it tells you right here, these ones were brought in on the 7th of this month, so they're pretty fresh, but who knows how long they've been sitting on the coolers and the wholesalers. So you want to make sure that you have fresh water. Now the other thing is that they usually have this type of greenery. This is called lemon leaf or salal, and you always want to ask your floral departments or your grocery stores if they have any, especially those floral departments that they have like coolers and they do arrangements they sell, because they most likely have some type of greenery that you want to use as a base for your flower arrangement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I cut them all at once. So you have to have some sort of cutter that is pretty sharp. You can do that with scissors too, but it's going to take you a long time. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the rubber bands, and they usually come with these food packets. I'm going to show you in a second. So you want to take all of these rubber bands, and then also you want to go ahead and give them a fresh cut and just stick them in here. I'm going to do the same with this Hypericum berry. You guys, I don't know if you know, but I used to work as a florist for many years, and I used to know all of the names of the flowers. I have forgotten some of them, but I know this is a Hypericum berry for sure. Or they also call it coffee bean, because it looks like a coffee bean even though it's not. And the reason why you want to get this fresh cut, now I love snapdragons. These are snapdragons, and they're so alternative. They're so delicate and dainty, but look how beautiful they are. They have this like really beautiful form, and this is going to be our flyaways. So now what you want to do is you want to go ahead and give them all a cut. Make sure that they're all at the same height. So we're going to give them a cut, and we're going to stick them right here in the water. And last but not least, our beautiful hydrangeas. These are called, let's see, they are Deer Lily hydrangea. They all have really weird names like that. But anyways, you want to get this food packet out. If you have any scissors, go ahead and use your scissors. And this one I'm going to cut one by one because they're pretty thick. So I'm going to make sure that I get them all a fresh cut so they absorb the water. And then you're going to put this right here with them. And especially hydrangeas, because they really do live off of water. Now what I'm going to do, according to how many flowers you have, you might want to grab a few packets of floral food, and then we're going to just go ahead and pour that in here. So that way they get some vitamins while they're soaking some water. Just go in there. You can do this step first, actually, with that food water. And so now we're just gonna leave them here overnight, and I will show you guys how much fresher they look tomorrow. Back to you, Ramon, from the future. Thank you, Ramon, from the past. I really appreciate you sharing with us how to care for our flowers so they are beautiful and fresh and they last longer. So now I'm gonna take you into the studio and I'm gonna share with everybody how to create a beautiful floral arrangement with grocery store bought flowers, step by step. And I really think you guys are going to learn some tricks and tips and hacks on how to do this. So let's watch. All right, everyone. So it's been over 24 hours since we processed our flowers. And as you guys can see, they're really fluffy. I love the fact that they get really hydrated. Look at all these hydrangeas. They look so flat and now they're so fluffy. And I'm super excited to show you how to create these beautiful floral arrangements. So let's get started. The very first thing, well, I'm gonna move this out of the way so I can talk to you step by step. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna add some water to our container. And for this container, I chose this glass vessel that I had. And what I like about these vessels, because sometimes I use it as a container for flowers and sometimes I like to put a candle in it and it serves the same purpose. Now here's the thing, I'm gonna use a knife because I have a lot of experience with flowers. I was a florist for over 15 years and I just think it's faster when I use a knife. But you could also use some floral shears. There are these shears that are special for floristry and you will see that they cut really good the stems, and I'm gonna start crisscrossing. However, I do like a knife better. It reminds me of my florist days. So I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some of this greenery. And I want it to be a little bit taller. I want it to really be a little showy. Now this greenery right here is called lemon leaf or salal, and it is my favorite greenery to green any floral arrangement with because it has this really thick, almost like a lemon tree foliage. And it is probably one of the most famous or most used greeneries in the floral industry. We use it on all types of arrangements, but for this particular arrangement, I just wanted to give it that fluffy feel and look to it. And like I told you earlier in the video, this is something that you can ask your florist. They usually have this at hand because it is used for mainly for all kinds of floral arrangements. So I asked the florist at Vons, at the floral shop at Vons, my local grocery store. She did have some and she sold me 4 stems for $1.25, which I thought it was a pretty good price. So I got 8 stems, so this is 8 stems of it. And as you guys can see, it's plenty for your arrangement. Now, when you're inserting your flowers, you wanna make sure that you go ahead and spin it around like this because since you're going to be seeing the stems, they have to have that spindle shape to it, and so you want to make sure that you go ahead and spin your bouquet around. Now the other thing I'm going to talk to you about is how to preserve your flowers, and I'm going to start with the hydrangeas. Every time, let me see, every time that you insert a flower like this hydrangea right here, you want to make sure that you cut at an angle because that's going to help get the water into the flower. And the other thing is that you do not want any greenery on the stem. If there's any greenery on the stem, you have to peel it out because if you don't, what's gonna happen if that greenery stays in the water is going to create bacteria, and well, you don't want that because the bacteria will kill your flowers. Now this particular lime green hydrangea has a lot of foliage and I'm gonna leave it because the more foliage the better. And as you guys can see, the stem is really thick. So for that, you might want to use your shears. As you guys can see, it really cuts really beautifully. And I'm going to go ahead and put 2 right here. And then I'm going to spin around about 90 degrees. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some of this hydrangea. And I'm going to add one right here. Some of them I had already pre-cut for the purpose of the video. And I'm going to go ahead and add another one right here. Hydrangeas are my favorite flowers. I just think that they're so beautiful because they are so fluffy and you don't need very many to really create a statement. I'm gonna add these right here, but these 2, they have to go. Remember, if anything like that touches the water, it's going to create bacteria and it's going to make your bouquets not last as long. So I'm gonna add this one right here in the middle. I'm gonna continue to spin and I'm gonna add another one over here. And I have one more lime green hydrangea, so I'm gonna cut that guy right here. I'm gonna leave the foliage. And I'm gonna put this guy right here on the top. I also love the combination of green and white. It is my favorite combination for flowers, whether it's bridal bouquets or just to have around the house. I think it is so beautiful. I have one more hydrangea right here, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this foliage and let's see, where do I want it? I think I'm gonna put it over here. And this could be just an arrangement like this of just hydrangea and greenery. It's so elegant. But I did get some of this coffee bean or Hypericum berry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel all of these foliages. Remember, we don't want any of that to touch the water. And this is going to be kind of like our filler. So when you put a filler in, make sure that it sticks out a little further up so it's not flush with the rest of your bouquet. You want it to be a little bit more up so it gets that texture into your bouquet. So I have a whole bunch of these ones, and I'm gonna start right here on the crown doing a triangle. Remember, we always do a triangle and then we spin around. And now I'm gonna go to the outer edges. So taking all of this foliage out because I don't want it to get on the way. I'm gonna go ahead and insert now right here in the corners. So I'm gonna put it right here. Sometimes you have to kind of wiggle them in. But look how pretty that berry looks right there. And remember to always continue to spin around your bouquet. I'm gonna go ahead and go right here in between hydrangeas. This is a monochromatic bouquet, which means we're using one color with an accent color. It's one of my favorites, green and white. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And as you guys can see, you don't need to have a whole bunch of flowers to create a gorgeous bouquet. And this is a very affordable. Now, what really makes a house to me or a home very elegant is the addition of fresh flowers. An elegant home is not an elegant home unless you have a beautiful bouquet of fresh flowers. Nowadays, they're making really beautiful silks, but there's something about the fresh flowers that just add that elegance to a home. Maybe it is the aroma, maybe it is the fact, well, that they are fresh and you know that. Now I'm gonna add this flower, and that has a whole bunch of this greenery right here, this snapdragon. So what you need to do is peel all of that greenery, and we're going to add this guy right here on the top. That's gonna be kind of like what gave us texture. And I'm gonna add a set of 2 over here. Then I'm gonna spin it around. And I'm gonna add another one over on this side. And I wanna continue to add this one towards the top because you will be seeing this on my coffee table. So it is at this height that I want most of my focal flowers. And remember to always, always, always peel your flowers. You don't want any bacteria, because if you create bacteria, it will kill your bouquet of flowers. Look how beautiful this is, you guys. Just a few blooms on a monochromatic style, and you can have a gorgeous arrangement of flowers for your home, and it will really elevate the look of your home. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna put it in the living room and I'll show you. Stay tuned. Let me show you what these flowers look like in my living room. I love the combination of white and green. As you guys can see, it's very neutral, and it really does add that flair and that elegance to your home. This is an arrangement that was super easy to make, and you guys can do it. If I can, so can you. All you need is a few hydrangeas, a few coffee bean, snapdragon, and some greenery, and you can put together this beautiful bouquet for your home. Creating a monochromatic bouquet is super easy with these easy steps. I really do hope that you guys are learning something. So be sure to answer today's question, which is going to be, what is your favorite flower to decorate with? Mine is hydrangea, as I mentioned before. I cannot wait to read your comments. And also, if you don't follow me on Instagram, the links are going to be linked down below so you can follow along for daily content. All right, now let's go back to the studio, and I'm gonna share with you how to arrange flowers with fresh flowers and silk flowers. Keep watching. All right, everyone, so this next floral tip or hack is something that really changed my life when I was learning floral design back in the day when I was a florist, and that is to combine fresh greenery with an array of silk flowers and then also fresh flowers. So right here, we're gonna use the same container that we had, and I just added all of my salal or lemon leaf. And what you need to do is you need to start adding some of the silk flowers. But first, I'm gonna add a few of the green hydrangea because they are the thickest ones, so that way they're going to serve as a grid in our container. So I'm gonna do a triangle. Remember, what happens on the left happens on the right, and what goes up must come down, and then that is the way that we balance. If I could show you, there is a perfect triangle right here. All right, so the next thing I'm going to add is some of the coffee bean, and I'm gonna use probably about 5 of them, and I'm gonna start right here in the middle, and I'm just gonna insert between all of my flowers. As you guys can see, I'm gonna do one on each in between, and that's gonna give us the perfect base for our arrangement to start adding some of the silk flowers. And for that, I do have to mention that for this, you have to use some really good quality silk flowers, so that way they look very, very natural combined with all of our fresh flowers. And I like to use one flower at a time, and for that I'm gonna use these cabbage roses. And I love, 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 love the combination of pink and green. It is one of my favorite combinations in the whole wide world. So let's see, I'm gonna add all of the same flower at the same time, and I do want them to kind of come out like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add some orange, and that's gonna give us a really fresh look. This color combination, it's what I got for my father's funeral from the flower shop where I used to work. And so ever since, I just fell in love with it because it reminds me of my dad, and it is super fresh looking, and it was really bright in those days that you need, you know, when you need to send a floral arrangement because there's something that happened in your family. I do recommend a brighter bouquet because it really does lift up the spirit when you see a brighter bouquet like this. All right, so now I'm gonna continue adding all of the orange flowers that I may have. I'm gonna add some right here. And then I'm going to add some yellow to break in all of this floral pattern, making sure that I put them all in. Let's see, I'm gonna add another one up here. Look how pretty this is. All right, so I'm gonna stop right there. I'm not gonna continue to add. All I have is pink, but I'm not gonna continue to add. But what I'm going to add is going to be my snapdragon, because I think that's gonna give us a little bit of a lift on the bouquet. So I'm gonna add one right here. Look how pretty this is, you guys. Now, of course, this bouquet is gonna last you longer because it has silk flowers. The flower that might not last as long is this snapdragon, but you can just snap it out and replace it, or you can also just take them out. But I do like the way this looks. So I'm gonna continue adding a few more. I'm gonna add one more right here. And voila, this is what fresh flowers and silk flowers look together along with the greenery. I'm gonna put it in the living room and I'll show you, stay tuned. Okay, so I want to show you real quick what this arrangement of silk flowers and fresh flowers mixed together looks like. You really never know which are the silk and which one are the fresh. And as I mentioned to you before, what that does is it helps your bouquet last longer. That's why it's so worth sometimes investing in floral arrangements and then also in beautiful silk flowers, because you can create this beautiful arrangement or something similar and it will last a long time to come. If you just follow the tips, what happens on the left happens on the right. What goes must come down, and you will also have beautiful bouquets in your home. You can really trick the eye in your guest and family by using silk flowers, fresh flowers, and fresh greenery. And let me tell you, the secret here is it's going to last so long. You will love this tip. But now I'm gonna take you back into the studio and I'm gonna share with you how to make a beautiful hand-tied bouquet with flowers from the grocery store. Keep watching. I'm gonna show you how to create a beautiful hand-tied bouquet using the hydrangeas, hypericum berries, and snapdragons. The flowers can be the same, but what I want you to absorb is the technique, the tips and the tricks on how to create a beautiful, fresh floral bouquet using grocery store flowers. Let's get started. First, I wanna show you this container, and believe it or not, this container I got at a local thrift store for under $6, you guys. It is beautiful. However, right now I'm gonna put it to the side, and I already put my water with the floral food in it. I'm also going to use my not wire cutters, but floral shears, and then also, I can't believe I just say wire cutters. I'm so used to cutting wires right now since I am working on the Christmas videos, but I'm also going to use a rubber band and a florist knife just in case. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab some of my greenery and I'm gonna snap it like this. I want individual stems. So you wanna make sure that you snap them all, because I like to have all of my work prepped before I get started with any floral design. That way it's faster as you assemble it. Sometimes the prepping is what takes us the longest, but if you prep your containers, your flowers, and your greeneries, I promise you, you're going to be the florist, the fastest florist in the town. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab some of this salal or lime or lemon green, and I'm gonna add like a crisscross, one on the front, one on the back, one on the front, one on the back. Once you have them like this fanned out, what you're going to do is you're gonna grab one of your flowers, you're gonna put one on the front, and you're gonna put one on the back. And what you wanna do, remember, this is your core. You're going to spin around, and you're gonna continue adding some of this greenery, filling in all of the gaps. And then I'm going to introduce the third one over here. And then I'm gonna, remember, when you do a floral bouquet like this, you insert on your left, and then you spin to the right, and then you continue to add greenery like this. And I have to save some for the end because you want to also do a color of greenery. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add one of my white hydrangeas, and I'm gonna add it right here in the middle, and then I'm going to add the other one over here. Now, because you see, I have another one over here, there's no greenery. You always have to support your flowers with some sort of greenery like this, because that's how they grow in nature. Flowers are always supported by greenery. So that way you make sure there is no holes on your bouquet. So once you support all of your flowers with a beautiful color of greenery, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna grab my snapdragons, and I'm gonna start inserting them here on the top. And you wanna make sure that they don't go flat with the bouquet. You wanna make sure that there's a step down from the main flower, like this. And you kind of have to loosen up your grip to make sure that the stem goes in like that. And then you grab them all together. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put one right here. Remember, when you add a flower, you add a greenery to cover that stem. Then I'm gonna go around, and then I'm gonna add another one right here. Then I'm gonna add another piece of greenery right there. So now I'm gonna bring all of my hypericum berry or my coffee bean, and I'm gonna start inserting this. And look, with one hand, you take the greenery and insert. And with the other hand, you have to never let go of your bouquet. And I think at this point, I'm gonna take all of the foliages from my berry, so that way they are kind of like a bud and they don't have any more greenery, because I have enough greenery right here. Then I'm gonna spin to my right and take all of the foliage. You know, when you are a florist, you learn to do all of these things just by practice, because if you were not to take all of that greenery, and my boss would come and be like, why does that hypericum berry have foliage on it? You know, when it's a posy bouquet like this, then you'd have to go in and take all of that. Once the bouquet is done, you cannot take it apart, so you have to pick it. And it was awful. So now you learn that you have to use both hands at the same time like this to strip your flowers. Sometimes this hypericum berry is better if you group it together, because it shows better, especially in a posy bouquet like this. A posy bouquet is when it's like round like this. It doesn't really get too exaggerated up. It doesn't have any height or width, and it's just all round. And the way that you make it round is by continuing to adding at the same height, as you guys can see, and not having that much foliage on the top. The foliage should only go to the bottom. Right here, there is a hole, so I'm gonna add one right here, but I have to do it from this side, like that, so I can continue my spindle motion right here. And I'm gonna add one right here as well. Oh, let me take the greenery. Ramon, you almost didn't take the greenery. Thumbs up if you guys are enjoying these type of videos. If you want to see more fresh floral bouquets, larger floral bouquets, sprays, and all of that, be sure to leave me a comment with a hashtag floral. And then also, if you have not seen my first floral design for beginners, I'm gonna link it down below and here on the screen as well, so you guys can check it out. It is really full of information. If you are looking for how to design flowers, it really was very, very fun. And I think you'll really enjoy watching it. All right, so now I'm gonna add this one right here. See, this right here is on my way. You just rip it out. Everything that is on your way that is gonna go underwater, you make sure that you rip it out because you do not want those foliages on your container. All right, so far so good. I'm gonna grab a few more of these and I'm gonna finish. This is what is called a color of greenery. Color, like a shirt's color. It sounds like color, but it's just my accent. All right, so far this is really pretty. I think I'm gonna finish right here with this one. You wanna make sure that you do have that greenery go around because this is gonna sit on a container. You wanna make sure that it has that beautiful greenery on it. Okay, so now that you have all of them at the same width, what you need to do is bring your container in. We're going to measure, and you don't want those stems to go all the way to the bottom. You want them to be like about 2 inches from the bottom. So we're gonna cut them all at the same length. And that's what these shears come in handy. My wire cutters, what I called them earlier. These are floral shears and they really do come in handy. As you guys can see, they cut really, really good. They're perfect for floral design. And so now what we're going to do is we're gonna grab our rubber band, and I have one here on my drawer. And what you're going to do is you're gonna stick your rubber band into one of the stems of the bouquet without letting go. You're gonna go really tight and you're going to go around. They're gonna stick it in another one to secure. And look, so now you drop this right here. And now you have a beautiful bouquet with fresh flowers from the grocery store. What do you think? I'm gonna put this on the table and I'll show you what it looks like. Keep watching. This is the hentai bouquet on a beautiful container. And as you guys can see, it looks so elegant and the container really does add a lot to the arrangement. So we have to be selective what containers we use when we're using fresh flowers, especially if you're using grocery store flowers. It can really elevate the look of your bouquet if you select a beautiful container. I just want to mention one more time, the selection of flowers is hydrangeas, snapdragons, and coffee bean with some greenery. Super simple to make, and if I can make it, so can you. You should really give it a try. Well, do you enjoy the tips and tricks on how to arrange and design flowers with a grocery store? If you guys want to see more videos like this, be sure to leave the hashtag florals and also answer today's question, which is, what is your favorite flower to arrange or design with? Mine, once again, is the hydrangea. I want to take a second to thank Elena Kopakov one more time for becoming our newest channel member. Yay, thank you, Elena. And if you want to become the newest channel member and get a shout out, be sure to link the link in the description box below. I really greatly appreciate. If you guys have not seen our last video on how to do floral arrangements, I'm gonna link it somewhere here on the screen and then also down below, and you can watch more videos right now. Thank you for watching, consider subscribing, and I cannot wait to read your comments. Until next time, bye.